What up, y'all? We are back. Blockchain Bros, episode 6. You know, I didn't even put this on Twitter. I've been so just like, ugh. It's been a
Yeah,
long. What's that?
no problem. I made a little tweet on both accounts for
Oh, okay,
promotion.
nice. Let me go ahead and then just, dude, I'm all over the place today. I had like, I just had a bunch of minor problems. I was going into some optimizations, with my BIOS. You know, my gigabyte cards. Um, Oh, here it is. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to go ahead and retweet this then. Hold on 1 second. I don't have to make a new tweet. Quote tweet. Yeah, I tried to get some optimizations going on. I'm running my gigabyte cards just unstock, stock BIOS, unmodified, and generally, I mean, just catching up real quick before we get into the topic of the day. Basically, what happens for the people who don't know, what you want to do is you have two things taking place inside of your graphics card that's doing the processing for hashing of cryptocurrency. And so you have two things that you want to maximize and efficient and make as optimized as best as possible. Your hash rate, which you want as high as possible. Hash rate is like how many processes it can calculate. Hey, Brian, today we're going to talk about like the future of Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, excuse me, cryptocurrencies, what's going on in the markets, predictions, stuff like this. And so basically what happens is the higher the hash, the better, because then your GPU can discover and make more money faster, or it can solve, equations and blocks faster, or can assist in the pool in solving the blocks faster, which means you get paid more. Then at the same time, because this costs a lot of energy and these things take a lot of processing power to actually run, what you want to do is you want to undervolt, and you want to bring your voltage down. So you want to keep these two things balanced. And what can happen is when you're undervolting, what you're doing is, so let's say your GPU on average, the 5700 XTs run around 190 to 200 watts. But what you want to do is you want to bring it down to about 180 watts. But when it hits like a really hard processing algorithm where it needs to really process where where it really needs to process hard, what happens is the power use spikes. And so it's like, oh, I need more energy to do this formula harder. And that can cause a lot of crashes and instability if you don't get that balance right. So what you want to have is you want to have some playroom in there to where it's like if you're at 180, but you don't want to be hashing at like, say, 60 mega hash, because the moment it like goes up the process really hard to hit that 60 mega hash, because it might, average about 57, but it jumps up and then that power spikes up to like, say, 190, but you've limited your card at 180. Well, what happens? It can't go that high, but it wants to go that high, and it's a computer. It doesn't think, okay, let me slow down and bring things back down. It starts to crash the card. And then what happens is the pool itself starts to then not thermal throttle. It's the same concept as thermal throttling, where thermal throttling brings down the hash power. What happens is then the pool starts to throttle your graphics card. And so it starts to slow down the hashing thread bit by bit by bit until the whole thread just crashes down to zero. Then you start losing mining time because all of your cards, not just the one, crashes. Because what it's trying to do by bringing the pool down, or your thread within the pool, it starts to try and bring it down so that graphics card can catch back up and then bring everything back up again. But generally it never happens. It's very rare that it happens. You have to actively see it happening and then start playing with the numbers real time. It's the chances that you're going to see it happening real time are very low unless you're actually having a card and you're tuning it and you're taking the time to sit there and tune it real time. So I've just been doing that all day, man. I don't know what happened, dude. That things are just really annoying. I got these gigabyte cards and they're running pretty good on stock BIOSes. But what I did was I modded the BIOS so that you could run the power even lower than normal, and you can run the hash rate higher than normal. And what happened was they started hashing at normal stock rates, but then the power shot up to like 130 watts where they were running like at 105 before that. And I was like, what the hell is this? And it just started burning up GPU risers left and right because it was just pulling too much power. And so I just put it back to normal for now until I can figure out what's going on. But anyway, that's been my day. What you been up to, bro?
Oh, well, mostly keeping up with the market movements, looking up the news, government regulations, Been reached out for quite a lot of projects to check up on. Also, one of the projects you mentioned, you mentioned the project when we were in the back room discussing, and on your Telegram chat with Dig, DYGG.
Yep.
Took a quick look at it. It's one of those, I'm going to say, odd projects which seem to be popping up hit hitherto the last couple of weeks. Um, Quite good to make some quick cash, but long-term investments,
It's probably a bad idea.
quite a bad idea. From what I learned from the quick glances and the community, well, it exists. There are quite a few members, but most updates stem from the administrators and developers, which is generally not an all too good sign
Mm.
because it lacks community feedback. Their Twitter, well, is one charade of promotions, not really worthwhile discussion that I've seen with other coins, and especially on a coin market cap that I noticed launched yesterday.
Yeah. And it launched like
Not
over
really.
60,000, right? It launched at like 60 something thousand. It's crazy. And it's up to like what, 77 now? Let me take a look. It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, such projects, they are popping up about everywhere, and they are reminiscent of the 2017 bull run. From what I can remember, at that point I was getting into cryptocurrency. I've got to be honest, didn't hold any, but I was keeping track of the market and what was developing. And during that time, a shit ton of projects were being founded and being launched. Even you can see today if you're visiting CoinMarketCap and just look up the history of certain coins. A majority started in 2017. I believe with this bull run, also a shitload of projects will have their what to say birth somewhere October, November, December 2020, just because of the bull run. So
Wow.
yeah, one part it's good for the market, on the other part, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people need to look out since we're talking about like the future of the markets and where they're going and all these types of things. It's like, guys, don't do anything that just doesn't, logically make sense. I mean, obviously, we're talking about cryptocurrency, and this is like it's kind of a new realm for everybody. Uh, but at the same time, there's just some common sense stuff that you shouldn't do. Like, I'll give you an example. Guy came to me and he was like, "Hey, there's this ICO, initial coin offering." And so brand new coin coming on in the market. He's like, oh, he's bigging it up, doing all sorts of commercials. And the first thing that caught my attention was he was like, sort of like you bring this guy in and then you get more money, sort of like a multi-level marketing type of, layout to the whole ICO. And I was like, okay, that's weird.
Ponzi scheme, like they say.
Yeah. And then to top it off, he was like, okay, well, I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I didn't say I was interested. I said, I'll check it out. And he's like, yeah, cool. Okay, well, here's what you got to do. You got to buy with Bitcoin. And I was like, I ain't giving you guys my Bitcoin. You crazy? So what they want to do is, and this is what I'm saying, logically, it doesn't make sense. And this just ended it for me. It's like they're asking you to trade something that has a definitive and clear value, Bitcoin right now, in the tune of 30
Mhm.
plus thousand, in exchange for initial coin offering that's going to explode. It's just going to blow up, like everybody says, you know, and there's no guarantee there. So if you give them your Bitcoin, it's guaranteed he's made a profit, and there's no guarantee you're going to make a profit. So don't give up a
Correct.
guaranteed, amount of money. Let's say you buy one Bitcoin worth, you're 30 plus thousand worth of Bitcoin for something that,
Doesn't take off
yeah,
at all.
exactly. You don't know what it's going to be worth tomorrow. It might be worth less than what you paid for it. So just watch out for that stuff, guys. They can have my crappy fiat currency. I get a lot of that from my job. I'll throw that at them all day. You can't have my Bitcoin though.
Well, the thing is, the approach they made with, yeah, if you give us Bitcoin, etc., in a certain sense, it's sensible approaching the project like that, but there needs to be trust established. And with a lot of projects, that kind of trust simply doesn't exist
No.
or lacks any credibility. And it's also one of the things I tend to look up at, because I too receive quite a lot of demands from users, beginning investors, ask me, hey, can you check out the coin? I want to invest. It might be a very good opportunity. generally, when I start looking it up, I'm starting to burn bridges down, just by reason that I immediately notice, nope, Ponzi scheme, stay out. That one seems good, seems good, seems good. Where are the white papers? Non-existent. Don't buy it means no technical analysis is possible. And yeah, others like you said, yeah, if you can offer us in Bitcoin, I've seen in Ethereum, Litecoin, some other high value coins. I'm like, somewhere it's sensible, but I have no guarantee, so no.
Yeah, indeed.
Many projects still need to prove their merits, so yeah.
And that's another thing to come into what you call it. I heard you were telling me that Ethereum hit its all-time high for once, huh?
Yeah, during the last 3 to 4 days, I received news it reached a new all-time high.
Okay, because I haven't been paying attention, to be honest, and so I'm not sure what happened recently.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. My eyes the last couple of days have been on Chainlink. At this moment, a lot of projects are taking off, and all are related towards DeFi, which explains why Chainlink nicely is being central within the smart contract story and is taking off. So yeah, seen predictions that it might reach $100 by the end of this year. So yeah, I'm happy about that one.
Sounds like a project to get in on. I've been looking at like a lot. You know, I'm big on like cryptocurrency, but I'm what do you say? I'm stuck as a miner. You know, not stuck, but I just enjoy it. I enjoy mining. I like it. I like it just, you know, the way it just pours in. And I was looking at some like, you know, some alternative coins to mine. And what caught my attention was two coins in general. The unkillable Monero, XMR.
Mm-hmm. It's a good
You
one.
know, yeah, XMR is actually it's a pretty good one. And weirdly, man, library, you know, the alternative to YouTube.
For both I can vouch in all actuality. In the live stream I did yesterday for the Belgians, Netherlands,
Mm-hmm.
my other podcast, Crypthusiasts, we talked about Monero. It was actually in the back room with my then co-host of yesterday, where I mentioned, yeah, well, he's also a miner, and I said, you can GPU mine Monero, and he's like, no way, I thought it was only with a CPU. No, no, you can do it with GPU, but you need to remain at a certain level of hash rate so they do not detect you've got a heavy mining rig.
Yeah.
And in that case, if you can, adjust the hash rates, you can actually make quite some good profit on Monero. Otherwise, it's too much of a chance. Even my computer, okay, is slightly bit dated, but still quite powerful.
Hmm.
Not immediately done, but mostly done to get a little bit more intimate with how Monero works, the wallets, their setup, etc. But you can
Yeah.
hook up a GPU miner if you remain at reasonable hash rates.
See, I didn't know this right here. So I'd have to check that out.
Yeah, it's something not frequently known. It's something I picked up somewhere on forums. Actually, I also read certain topics concerning mining, etc. Not immediately. I do not immediately have a mining rig. Damn, my English is bad today.
Hmm.
Yeah, do not immediately have a mining rig, but I tend to follow such discussions and I tend to do technical analysis. And some CPU mining coins, where you need a CPU mining, actually the program is quite simple. That it will start to downscale or recognize when an established miner or big mining rig is connected to it based on the hash rate it's putting out. So if you remain at a certain level between a certain threshold, you're safe.
Okay. Yeah, library. It's mined with CPUs, but they have nothing against GPU mining. Also,
Mhm.
they're open to it. And what's crazy is, man, their block rewards are insane. I mean, 257 block reward.
Yeah, but Libra is also taking off, and I've got to admit, it's a platform I've got a lot of trust in, and I might see it replace YouTube within a decade or something. So
I don't
getting
see how
in
it
on it,
can't.
yeah, it's a very decent platform. I even there have an account
Me too.
Yeah, I notice I follow you there also.
Okay, yeah, I follow you too. Even though it's all in Dutch, I follow you. Because the simple fact of the matter is, what I do, and guys, if you guys don't know this, get over there and check it out. I'm gonna crap on YouTube's platform. I'm gonna use YouTube's platform to crap on YouTube and advertise their competition. Get on Library and make an account there. You get paid for posting videos. This video right here, once it's processed, it will automatically upload to Library. I'll get paid in crypto for the upload. I get paid for people watching it. You get paid for watching videos. So it's not like YouTube where they're just, burning your time and your life away with these stupid commercials left and
Hmm.
right, and then you don't get anything from it other than a lost amount of time not watching the information you want to watch. They literally reward you for coming and watching the video. YouTube, they punish you. You come in, you get the unskippable ad followed by the 5-second ad, and then sometimes the 5-second ad is exactly 5 seconds, and so you get another 5-second ad. So it's like, it's just ridiculous. You sit there 15 seconds, 30 seconds at a time, waiting for your video to watch to load. And Library, they go straight into your stuff. The
And
content creator gets paid, you get paid, everybody's happy.
and even on YouTube, creators tend to be how to say demonetized if it doesn't follow a certain script or certain
Yep.
ideas are being promoted. Which,
Yeah.
yeah, quite frankly, I know you've got quite a few live streams which were a little bit on it, and I'm surprised it didn't take your account already down.
I'm actually surprised too, but I'm glad all that stuff is like running live over on Library. So it's like, if you go over there, guys, give me a follow. I get that. That's another thing. If you want to just do me a solid, I get paid for when you guys follow me. It's crazy. That's why I follow people. It's to spread the crypto love, and everybody gets paid, everybody's happy. It's not like massive. It's not going to make you rich, not yet. But I think once the platform, like you said, starts taking off 2-3 years, there's no way it's
And
not going to happen.
to me, that's the best aspect when it concerns the Libri platform. You get rewarded for following and helping others out, and that's something which makes it unique. And if I were an investor, I invest into the coin and in the platform itself. You can do so just by joining up. So,
Yep.
hot tip of the day, I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's worth it. I'd go over there and check it out. I'm just looking at like random ways to like I just finished. Well, we're actually kind of off topic, but let me just go ahead and get into it. I'm just looking at like other projects because I'm in the crypto also because I believe in it. If I can make money from it, they say make your career your passion or your passion your career or whatever else, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm really passionate about cryptocurrency and supporting it. And like I find Library to be like Library or whatever, however you pronounce it, to be a really good project, man. It's a really excellent project. They kicked what's his name, Donald J. Trump off of every platform, but now he's over there on Library. I follow him just because
Solid.
we kicked him off the other platforms. So
Yeah,
yeah,
big tech is losing quite a lot of how to say influence, especially thanks to blockchain projects which are coming into existence.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, okay, Gap isn't immediately blockchain if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, it's also a few towards most big tech
I don't see how they. I don't know why they won't go
establishments.
blockchain. They really should go blockchain. I mean, it's just crazy. They really should.
If they do it, I'm pretty sure their coin value would go upwards tremendously. Simply because they say, yeah, we do not deal with sensitive censorship. Damn it. Uh, so yeah, those are the kind of platforms I like. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's my opinion.
So talking about the future, coming back to our topic getting to the topic, I guess we've kind of been all over the place right now.
It's all future related in a
It
certain
really
sense. I
is.
can give it a spin if it needs to be.
Well, no, I mean it really is. I mean, because we're looking at now we're looking at the launching of like blockchain based social media. I think this is probably in terms of the future one of the most immediate realms an individual can profit off of, because censorship is at an all time like high in terms of our lifetimes. Unless you came from a Soviet bloc country prior to the Berlin Wall,
It
otherwise we're
became
looking at like
extreme.
a new age of censorship, and blockchain technology actually prevents that.
No,
You can't
I
prevent it.
I saw it on Twitter, especially when they, and if there are liberals watching, it was a shame that Twitter actually banned ex-President Trump from the platform, because they were like, yeah, censorship, and we need to abide to certain rules. So they put on, we're a company, but at the same time, well, censorship with blockchain doesn't really go hand in hand. What is on the blockchain remains on the blockchain. The
Yes,
security, and that's one of the things I like quite a lot about blockchain technology being used in social media. You
indeed.
cannot start withdrawing or adjusting the information. Once it's posted, it remains. And with that,
Thing.
you get an, how to say, extremely high amount of transparency.
Mm,
Well, on social media, you can have, for example, Biden liking pictures of underage girls, for example. He cannot redraw the likes on that point. It remains on the blockchain. So if you want to have some salt against him and say, dude, what you're doing is quite wrong. Yeah, but it never happened. Uh-huh. Block number that one loaded there. Can't change it. How much you would like to have it. So
yep.
it's a certain amount of security against censorship, which is quite important, especially future wise, where, well, the idea and prevalence of the subject fake news is such a hot topic with blockchain, a greater part for fact checking. It remains, the facts remain of what has happened and what certain people have said. So, yeah, future
Yeah,
wise, quite important.
it really is. It's a solution to a lot of the problems that we're facing right now in the current age. In more ways than one. Uh, it, it I guess this is why governments hate XMR. Also, at the same
Yeah.
time, it. What am I trying to say here?
Yeah, it provided a certain bridge
Yeah,
from,
the transparency can work both ways. If you're a dodgy dude, then it's not as good as like a lot of people like to make it out to be, or it can be good for you if you can keep your dodginess, you know, well hidden. The transparency that it provides is actually, it's not a bad thing. It incentivizes honesty in general, so I think we need a little bit more of that right now.
yeah, naturally. Well, one of the proverbs I like to use is the internet is like a trash can. If you search hard enough, you can find everything. Blockchain will enables it to do it slightly more fast. And we have to be honest, blockchain technology and even cryptocurrency, it's one of the subjects not many dare to touch upon. But yeah, there are some dark things happening with blockchain and cryptocurrency. Certain coins are being used for, well, illegal transactions, I'm going to say, payments for illegal activities. It makes part of the crypto market, but on the other hand, for the naysayers who are saying, yeah, but with fiat currency, it also occurs. It's only in cash and not as widespread. With blockchain, it remains logged. You can look it up if needed to be, which is once again one of the advantages in a certain sense. So yeah, it's a darker side to cryptocurrency, but one that is necessary to understand and to comprehend. It doesn't make cryptocurrency or blockchain evil. It simply is, and it also occurs with, well, within our classic system, but more behind closed doors. With blockchain, there's a certain transparency that's present.
Yes. Which is, I find it a good thing, for the most part. I think it is the biggest problem that like a lot of governments have with Monero, that it removes, it hides, or not hides, but you can't trace it, in general.
Yeah, because that's one of the strengths of cryptocurrency. I mean, I don't know if people are familiar with such kind of stories of FBI, CIA leaving, well, suitcases, sorry, proper English word, suitcases at the Mexican embassy for paying off certain ambassadors for certain investigations. On a blockchain, such things cannot happen by reason you immediately can notice from which wallet to which wallet. And if by chance you know who one of the proprietors of that wallet is, it becomes immediately known across the entire chain. Now, in previous episodes, I said, well, it's difficult to pinpoint an idea towards a private wallet, which is still the case. However, still have an entry point through an exchange itself where ID verification is very possible. So, in a certain sense, you can deduce, but yeah, it concerns big amounts of money, like many investing firms, which is the cause of the recent bull run, saying, yeah, we're going to invest and buy X million amount of dollars in value in Bitcoin. Yeah, okay, you can see from which wallet the investment came, because you will see that amount or parts of that amount suddenly being transferred towards the same wallets. Mm, in a certain sense, you can deduce, okay, it's from that company or that company.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know, um, I wanna talk about like the future here though.
Yeah.
Right now we're seeing a lot of stuff. I'm gonna call it stagnation in the markets. Bitcoin sticking like the lower 30s, cryptocurrency, Ethereum sticking around the 12, 1300 mark. It just went up above its ETH today. We're seeing Polkadot stuck just below $20. The only one that's really making some real moves right now has been Chainlink. It's constantly and consistently been breaking its all-time highs. But in general, we find that the market has been pretty stagnant. I mean, nobody watches it. This is one of my ones, Ethereum Classic. It's been stuck at around just below $8 now. Monero's been stuck in the 140 zone. Litecoin I haven't been watching. I think it's actually dropped. So I
Litecoin,
mean,
possible, yeah.
yeah, so what's the future hold? I mean, it looks like we've hit like a new stable point, to where it's like we had a stable point, here, and then it shot up and now it's staying here. I mean, what are we looking at future wise? What do you think? I mean, in terms of crashes, we're going to look at
Hmm.
another bull run later on. I think we're just kind of like in a hold stability type market right now.
We are a bit in a stability market at this point in time. Now, however, from what I'm certain of, the bull runs will continue to run their courses. The thing is, there's now much corporate money involved, and that's one of the things that I've been noticing in the last 2 or 3 weeks. That most trades and the bullish movements are limited towards working hours
Mhm.
during the week. Like for example, during this weekend, not much movement has been seen along a plethora of coins like Ethereum, Bitcoin.
Yeah,
By reason, well, many of those investing firms, they're closed at the moment. Their holdings are, well, being held, and the transactions from which value can be deduced, well, are now from the private investors either selling or buying additional coins, because when, well, value levels are that, it's a unique opportunity to buy and sell depending on when you first bought or sold your Bitcoin. So yeah, and starting from Monday, pretty sure it will take off once again if no other major world event is occurring. Because this week, with the inauguration of Biden, that I know, the market suddenly plummeted just because a lot of companies said, "Yeah, we are going to await about the speech, about the possible policies that are going to be launched." And somewhere, and that's something I hope and think that will happen. Starting from Monday, we will see a new bullish rise. By reason, yeah, the inauguration was on a Thursday. Friday, many more investment firms were actually rolling out, saying, yeah, okay, we're going to take it easy last of the week. So yeah, might be the case Monday. Suddenly, we might see a little explosion, or simply further stagnation, or a very small run. But yeah, who knows? Who knows?
yeah, it's kind of up in the air.
Yeah, in any case, from what I dare say, it wouldn't be bad to let the market give off some steam, because it's been running for quite a while at this point in time.
Yeah,
And well, 2021 has just begun, and I'm pretty sure with all the news that I've received and see around on Twitter, different media, we're still in for quite a big cryptocurrency ride. So
yeah,
it's
I
going to
wouldn't
be big.
disagree. Wouldn't disagree. Shoot. Yeah, man. There was something. Hold on, let me check my chart here. With all these attacks, let's just talk about XMR real quick. With all these attacks on XMR, it's at
Hmm.
138. So basically, we'll just say 140. When I first checked it, when I first ran into it, it was 160. Do you think this is going to continue, or do you think it's gonna stay alive? We saw the likes of Kraken deny American citizens, the ability to trade Kraken.
Hmm.
But they said they're not going to discontinue using it. So I mean, it is quite a resilient coin. Do you think it has a future?
It still has a future. In previous episodes and also in different, well, news feeds, I've mentioned XMR. Well, going to quickly look something up. Sorry.
Hmm.
Mind became a bit blank. Okay, Monero. Yeah, I was thinking about Ripple. No. No, Monero is something resilient. It will stay. It's a privacy coin. Future-wise, it has good prospects. However, now with current regulations concerning many cryptocurrencies, especially with U.S. governments trying to, well, hammer down on a variety of coins, which are related towards privacy, such privacy coins are going to have a hard time within the following weeks. But I'm pretty sure they will recover quite greatly, and it's actually a very good simulation for many traders and investors. By reason, it gives a simulation on what should occur should a coin be regulated. You will see a downfall in value, but a continued trade underground. And that step is slowly developing, I'm going to say, and it might be the case within a few months, suddenly their prices will go up tremendously. Just by reason people are saying, yeah, okay, so it's a privacy coin, okay, there's regulations, but we have found other means to get our hands on it. We're now going to buy or sell en masse, like they say in French. So it might be the case they recover quite good even. So I've
Okay.
got my hopes up. Naturally, it's hypothetically, not entirely sure it will happen this way,
Mm,
but by the looks of it, might, yeah, recover.
nice. So I think 2020. Well, I agree with you. I think 2021 is the year of crypto. We're seeing a lot of like big changes, a lot of big movements, and like you said, and actually, I want to give props to your observation there. I would have never occurred to me about the just coming back full circle, putting all this together, watching market movements go at the same time and at the same schedule as the financial world. Their Monday through Friday scheduling. So with that, I'm 100% with you on that. 2021 is going to be a crypto year. Monero, man, I'm really looking at Monero. Just bring this back here. And the question is, well, my new question, let's put it like this. Do you think institutes are going to get into trading Monero also? I mean, considering how it's facing a
Hmm,
lot of heat from, the US SEC.
that's a very good and hard question to answer. I think they might, if all lawsuits are being cleared or if all regulations surrounding the coin have turned out positive. In that case, yeah, they will do so. In other cases, it might be the case they're going to still invest in it, but keep it as a somewhere hidden or secret asset at that point in time. But at this point in time, there's too much uncertainty about it. So, yeah, it's quite hard to put my finger or foot down on it and say it's going to recover soon. Quite a bit early, and it might drag on for a few months, few years. But I remain certain long-term vision,
Mm,
yeah, it will rejuvenate. I'm going to say so. It might pop up once again.
I think I agree with you. Anything you want to cover? We're actually like covered basically the basics of our topic. Who's this? Abdul Razak. Abdul Razak. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And hello to you, brother.
Oh
We actually
man,
covered a lot of the topics for today. I mean, we're only like a half hour in. We basically we covered like most of what we wanted to cover, I think, man. It's like, you know, um,
yeah,
you
there's
know,
still
go ahead.
yeah, there's still a lot of future perspectives we can talk about. Like,
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm here. I'm ready.
let's talk Ethereum and their future.
Ooh,
That's quite a big aspect, and I
I got
believe
a lot of opinions on there. That's good that you brought that up, man. I got a
I
lot of
know
strong opinions on
I
that.
know, and it's actually a quite sensitive topic in the sense of there's a lot to be told about that a lot of people have no idea about, especially now
There's
with
a
the new all-time
lot of
highs.
heated
Ether-
opinions of people out there right now.
Yeah, but most discussions are, well, between the techies, I'm going to say, and the miners. And for most outsiders, they're like, yeah, it has reached a new all-time high. It's going up. It's quite good. There's hell to be unleashed.
It's been hanging steady, and I think that I'm going to give a prediction for the future. Even though ETH just hit its all-time high, I think we're not until August. We're probably not going to see a massive bull in the ETH department until August. Now, obviously, I could be very wrong. Obviously, I was wrong about
Mhm.
Ethereum and the Ethereum Classic situation, so I might be wrong here. But this is my opinion on Ethereum. Everyone, from the devs to the miners to the investors, are waiting to see what happens with 1559 before any like new real runs on like Ethereum happens, because it's such a contentious topic. I mean, the reality is, look at this. We're looking at. I mean, it's not, of course, going to make as much money as Ethereum, but Liberty pays 257 block reward. That's ridiculous. That's with a CPU. That means with a CPU, you can make $17 a day off a CPU. I've got like, you know how much hash power I got in the other room over there, dude? I, I might
A
actually,
lot.
I got to do the math. I might actually be able to make more with that than I would on Ethereum. I don't know. I doubt it, but it's just like, yo, that's a lot of money. You know, I mean, off a CPU. Imagine that, a CPU making $17. What my GPU would slaughter that thing. It's like 150 CPUs. So I got to go look at the numbers and make sure I'm reading this right. So anyway, I think everybody, because miners just might flee. Miners just might say, hey, you know what? This doesn't make any sense. And the Ethereum dev crew have such crazy ideas. Did you see what this guy Vitalik Buterin said? You see, now I'm getting all excited.
Yeah, go ahead. I know
Did you see
Ethereum
what
is
he said?
burning
He
bridges.
said, well, when when they go proof of stake, or if 1559 doesn't work out for miners, they can do, they can use their miners for running zero proof models for us, dude. He wants us to run our rigs at
For
like
free.
1300 watts a rig for free. No, excuse
It's
me, not for
insane.
free, at a loss.
Yeah, true. Because you need to take into account your energy costs.
You gotta
It's
imagine the
insane.
mentality behind that.
Yeah, there's going to be an exodus of miners away from Ethereum. It's one of the reasons that I'm certain of. The more Ethereum 2 gets developed, the more and more miners are going to say, just sort of, we're out of here. Because there's no profit to be made anywhere. There's no reward for the miners
Mhm.
anymore. So it's simply insane. And it's probably something they want to do with the proof of stake so that they can have more reach within their own servers and miners. But it's going to be, I'm not going to say the death of Ethereum, but it's going to get a hard blow.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. There's no way that this is the problem. See, and we talked about this before, and I can't remember the other coin, but what's the name of that stupid coin?
That's quite a
Conflux.
complex.
Conflux
Okay.
about no, it's not 3 months ago. About 4 months ago, it was more profitable to mine Conflux than it was to mine Ethereum. It's unheard of. It's just rare that there is an altcoin that's worth more to mine than Ethereum. But Conflux was doing it. Conflux got the same bug up their rear as Ethereum did. The miners are making too much money. They're because basically, guys, what happens is this: a block is given in terms of a solution. A transaction takes place and a block is created. Okay,
Mhm.
so that transaction is a block. That block goes into the pool. The miner jumps in. According to how the mining pool has programmed. According to gas fees, this, that, whatever. It picks the one that has the most reward, and then basically once that's solved, a certain amount of that currency on that blockchain is created as a reward. And so what happens is there's more of this, cryptocurrency being created. And so you find that like Ethereum has no cap limit on it. Like BTC has a cap limit of 21 million. So there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever. So the more people mine, the more blocks are created, and the
More
less,
money. Yeah.
excuse
Well,
me,
the
yeah,
more
you
currencies
get
are.
to 21 million faster. Ethereum doesn't have a cap on it. A lot of these coins don't have caps on them. And so what Ethereum, because they don't have a cap on it, they want to, and Complex didn't have a cap on it. They were like, oh, well, we're flooding the market with Complex, and so it's going to drive down the price. And it doesn't really work like that in cryptocurrency. It's more about faith-based and people having belief in the coins and, buying it up based upon, how the coin operates. So anyway, Conflict said, the miners are making too much money, blah, 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 woody, woody, woo. And they started, getting, wild hair up their butt about it and getting their underwear tied in a knot. And the miners just left after they did their version of 1559. So Conflux did a 1559 move. They lowered the block reward down to like 6, like Ethereum, without having the value of Ethereum. And miners was like, yo, I'm losing money. So they just left and they went over to Ethereum. And what happened to Conflux? Let's take a look at the let's take Complex.
Just share it on screen so people get a very good idea what happens. So I might give the commentary. That's the thing that will await Ethereum within considerable time scale.
Yeah, hold on. Let me put this so I can share it. So
It's as if certain developers do not realize how important the miners are and how their profits affect, well, the entire mining and all the transactions and the value of the coin. Without it,
so now
over.
19 cents. It used to be, I don't know what its historical. Let's take a look at its whole history.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So basically, this is back when they first made the block rewards pretty high, and then you see like the steady climb, and then right here is where they decided that we were gonna like piss off the miners, and then so it dropped here, and it's just been on this steady, slow, declining.
Degradation,
Yeah, degradation. It's not actually like a significant one, but it's just the coins never, they came on the market here. And then they got funky and goofy here, and it's just been downhill ever since. This coin's not going to go anywhere simply because what?
Yeah, and I'm pretty certain it still has its current value just because of the ongoing runs with the other altcoins and Bitcoin itself. Otherwise, it might have crashed a lot harder. Because
that to be honest, who's even mining that right now? It's just like I don't know why you would be mining it. That they're still surviving is amazing.
Yeah, but it tends to happen with a variety of coins. There have been certain investors who started with the coin, saw the bad movements, and well, they still want their profit because they couldn't cover it, and so they keep on making publicity and saying, yeah, but it's a good project, no problem at all, even though the miners backing it are like, yeah, we just need to get our money out of it, even if we're trading at a loss here. So
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the things that happened to a lot of projects, certainly starting with the 2017 run. And future-wise, even at this current date, there are a lot of new projects being launched, which will have similar issues and will suddenly fade into obscurity within a year's time, easily.
I've noticed a new trend is that a lot of these new coins are going proof of stake. And so they're trying to actually avoid like having to depend on or having to use miners. And I'm not really sure how that looks, because I think proof of stake is it is kind of relatively new. I mean, the OG of securing the chain has been Bitcoin. They've been the forerunner, you could say, in terms of like setting what's the standard. So I'm interested to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, proof of stake. There's a lot of projects starting to use it. On one side, probably because of the hype of Ethereum 2.0, they're thinking, yeah, it's an upgrade. They're doing proof of stake. We'll do so too, so we will have a certain amount of credibility. In reality, proof of stake as a consensus protocol, it is. It invites to have a central authority. I'm going to say why the concept. Sorry, again?
I said it invites attacks. I actually did some research on it, and I looked at how, and this comes into the future of Ethereum. And I mean, go ahead. I'll jump in there. I'm not going to forget this point.
No, with proof of stake, it invites central governance. Why? You will be staking a certain amount of coins in order to be able to mine and validate. With Ethereum 2.0, for example, there was about 32 Ethereum tokens to be staked. I do not know a lot of miners who have that amount. Generally, those are developers who have that amount,
Yep.
or, well, people who have been mining Ethereum for a very, very long time and can say, yeah, well, I can afford to stake that amount. In that case, they can do it. But
It's
for
also
the
unfair.
majority of people, it's an impossibility almost to do so because the
I
investment
also
is
find it
too
unfair
high.
because basically, like, if there's a battle between two different staking nodes on who's discovered the block first, or who's broken down and like solved the block first, because I don't know if you guys know, pools, they compete against each other's, and so it'll be the same way with staking nodes. They're going to compete against each other, and what decides here is who has the higher staking amount. So basically, it's a rich boys rich club. If you can stake more Ethereum, you win, and that means you can win more Ethereum. The
Uh,
same technically applies with mining, but not.
there's also another disadvantage with proof of stake. It's not only the amount of coins staked, but also their age. With that, I mean the older the coins you have and stake, the more probable it becomes that you are actually making the final decision. It
Mhm.
might be the case that a certain miner says with proof of stake, okay, I've put in 32 Ethereum coins, but if they were all minted early on, and some other guy says, yeah, I'm only going to stake 15 Ethereum, but they were mined from the beginning, the algorithms on the blockchain itself might say, yeah, but these ones weigh more by reason they are older and thus overrule the other ones. So it takes a special kind of programming to, well, evade such kind of bugs. Now, the scenario I pointed here was quite theoretical, but in
Yeah,
reality, it's, yeah.
there's a famous saying: if it's not broke, don't fix it. But anyway, going into like how they invite more attacks. So Ethereum is now opening themselves to more attacks when they go, in my humble opinion, and what I've seen from the technical data. And this is actually, guys, understand this: Ethereum 2.0 isn't new. They actually intended to go proof of stake from the beginning, but they just couldn't, because they
Mhm.
cannot get past the security faults of proof of stake. So now here's their plan and their idea. Listen to this, guys. So right now, the Ethereum network is secured by miners, and we have like something like 300 and something terahash worth of network power in terms of security. It's nothing to shake a stick at, guys. It's a lot of freaking security on the Ethereum network because it's profitable. And so basically, just before I get into the explanation of the new method, basically their argument is they're paying miners too much, and miners are saying, since when are you paying too much for security? I mean, we're looking at Ethereum being worth, on, let me look at it right here. Ethereum is worth
1,300? No, it's less.
220 22.1 billion. So right now their
Hmm.
market cap is 22.1 billion. We're just going to use the market cap basically as
Hmm.
we're going to say it's value. They have a market cap of 22.1 billion, and they're saying they're paying miners too much for security. So, I mean, I don't know. So anyway, here's what happens. And see, and this was the problem with Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic didn't have enough hash power. They got 51% attacked. The coin hasn't really recovered. It's recovering slowly, but it never really truly recovered in the way that coming back to its old value. So now what they want to do with Ethereum is they want to put Ethereum on shards. They want to create actually 32 shards, 32 ETH. They like the number 32. They're going to create 32 shards, and one of those shards, each one of those shards will have validating nodes for a certain section, for lack of a better term, of the blockchain Ethereum, or for the Ethereum blockchain. And so they're going to validate the blockchain. And so what happens is, towards Ethereum 2.0, they're going to put all the miners on one of the 32 shards. Or actually, let's say it's a 33rd shard, because they're going to eventually just destroy that shard to where we
Hmm.
can't mine anymore. We're going to be on one of those shards. Now, what happens is they've now consolidated security hashing power or validating power into individual shards instead of one great big network, which makes individual shards open to attack. So instead of having one massive powerful network in tune of almost 400 terahash like we have right now with miners, you're going to have individual shards that can be individually 51% attacked. And this is why they haven't gone live, because they can't figure out a way to like
To secure
make
it.
proof of stake work in the way that proof of work does, which is we're just all in there hashing away. And if you come in with some goofy stuff and try and basically, for lack of a better term, counterfeit some Ethereum and put on the chain, hey, I got all this Ethereum all of a sudden, and then we've got 300, almost 400 terahash saying, my niggas, no, get that out of here. You know, they can't do that with proof of stake, given the current technology and hurdles that they want to try and do. So they're going to individual shard it into 32. You're going to lose all your security
Well,
benefits. It's going to mess up the coin.
there is a solution, but I think they're trying to evade it, and that's, well, with the proof of authority consensus. Why proof of authority consensus is based on proof of stake, but at that point in time, and that's where also sharding comes into mind, you're going to address to each shard, well, a certain amount of authority, which implies someone will need to, well, confirm the deal. But it implies you're going to start centralizing once again, which is a very, very, very weak spot when it comes to cryptocurrencies, because it can destroy entire projects. And that's one of the troubles Ethereum 2.0 is trying to fix. They have proof of stake, want to shard it, but now they notice, yeah, well, we're going towards proof of authority, but that's not what we want. We want scalability, we want better adjustments. So they're, well, shooting their own feet. And yeah, they're not really realizing it.
Yeah, this is why a lot of people believe that basically they're going to go to a hybrid system where they're going to have, validators and they're going to have miners. It sounds viable, because at the end of the day, if anything goes wrong, for a fact you can rely on the miners. Those mining machines aren't going to get it wrong. For a fact that they're always going to hash, they're always going to have turnout power, and they're always going to turn out consistency. And this is like completely untested areas right now with, this proof of stake.
Yeah, those are nice challenges, but let's hope the correct decisions are being made and that they are not going to go after corporate greed, cash grab, money grabs, which I'm pretty sure they're, well, Vitalik is actually a bit pushing towards too.
Vitalik is such a, I'm going to call him a bad name. Guys, let me tell you a story about Vitalik. Vitalik, bless the young man. He's a geek. Okay, he's a nerd, and at its core, I suppose that's not a problem. I'm somewhat of a nerd myself. That's why I have my thing that I call alpha nerd. I'm something of a geek. I won't lie. I'm a geek that'll beat you up. Vitalik won't do that. He's an absolute super geek. And see, this guy used to play World of Warcraft. I did too. I played World of Warcraft also. And he was a warlock. And anybody who's played World of Warcraft knows that warlocks at one point were the most overpowered class in the entire game. They were the worst DPS class to deal with because they had so many stun locks that could prevent you from they could remove the movement of your character. And they had so many damage over time spells and whatnot, and direct damage spells that they were just almost impossible to deal with. Vitalik played one of these, and obviously he played it quite well. Guys, there's a point to this story. So anyway, they had what's called Siphon Life. And so what would happen was the warlock, he could drain your life, and at the same time, it would damage you. So it would heal him, and it would damage you. And one time, and so Blizzard, the game makers of World of Warcraft, they decided that this was overpowered, and it was. Because there was no other class that could do this except for Shadow Priests, where they had a damage component together with a healing component combined. But the Shadow Priests didn't have all the overpowered kill, bling bling like Warlocks did. World of Warcraft removed the damage component of Drain Life. And Vitalik said, and you can find this online, go look it up. It's there. It's on his profile that he wrote himself, that he cried himself to sleep after Blizzard did this. And then he was so upset that he wanted to prevent central authority from being able to change the rules of a game and the mechanics at the same time, and then punishing the players for it. So now we have Vitalik, who created Ethereum because of what Blizzard did, now doing the same thing in Ethereum. He's changing the mechanics of his Ethereum and the rules of Ethereum to nerf, to bring down miner profitability, all because he doesn't think it's right. He's literally doing the very thing that he hated. He's become what he's hated the most. It's just the wildest thing to watch this. I don't want to call it double standard. That's a goofy term. Just this lack of self introspection taking place real time. It's just unbelievable.
In a certain sense, we can now deduce that should Ethereum crash, it's all Blizzard's fault. So
Exactly. We're gonna
big
blame
shoes
World
watching
War
here will
Warcraft.
say, yeah, okay.
I'm gonna get my money back from World of Warcraft if it crashes.
I want my membership cancelled, damn it. No, but yeah, no, in any case, when it concerns Ethereum, there are the updates, there are a lot of bad things happening there. Future looks a little bit bleak now, despite all that negativity, with the, how to say, revolution of DeFi services, decentralized finance. Ethereum will stick around, just by reason of, yeah, future-wise, just by reason of the decentralized applications that are present on its blockchain. So
Exactly.
do,
There's a
do,
lot
do,
on
do
top of
not expect it suddenly to fall down below $1 value,
it.
but it will have a certain dip. Say, for example, if it suddenly reaches 2,000 to 3,000 USD dollars, entirely hypothetically, it might be a case if Ethereum 2.0 is launched, it suddenly drops down towards 1,500 or something alike. So do not expect a sudden entire crash, but a crash nonetheless, and afterwards a stabilization, but not, well, much renewal or development is taking place because the miner said,
Yeah.
let's beat it.
And guys, and I understand there's a lot of people who are, invested in Ethereum, but understand this, Ethereum 2.0 is actually live. I don't know if you guys know that. It's live. Ethereum 2.0 is live, but it is not launched. So that should
Mhm.
tell you everything you need to know already, that there are so many problems, so many hurdles, so many obstacles that you have something running live right now on the chain that is being tested and they are unwilling to actually implement it. And I just don't. I don't know, guys. I don't think it looks good. That's my humble opinion. I might be biased because I'm a minor, but it's just I don't see them actually ever, totally, uh, springing the hurdles that it's going to take to actually reach what they want to reach. I could,
Yeah, future wise, many people look at value and use it as a certain measure of success. Now, Ethereum, yeah, it's also in a bull run just because the entire market is in a bull run. Pretty
yeah,
sure that if, well, Ethereum 2.0 is launched, but, well, not launched, but active, I'm going to say, but
yeah,
officially launched, that in reality, if the bull run wasn't present, you might have seen a dip, quite severe one. And I even believe the reason that it's stagnating now is because of that movement.
absolutely.
Period.
They're far too vociferous about it. I figure, like, my humble opinion, if they're actually going to do all this stuff, they should be a little bit more quiet about it. Do their simple, like, announcements. Don't be online, like, gloating. Yeah, you should see the Ethereum. I follow a lot of Ethereum devs on Twitter, and they're just complete dickheads. And they're just on there gloating like dickheads. Even if I was an investor, I'd just be looking at this guy like, what are you doing? It's like,
Yeah,
you got some stuff to be working on. You over here like you miners are like, what?
you, you
I don't
need
want to be an
credi-
investor.
you need credibility and a certain amount of charm if you have such a project running. You can start to gloat even if your blockchain has been established as something to build upon. It's the depth of any project. I've been in sales for more than a decade at this point in time, and I can say well, I will be losing a sale the second I start gloating or even look down upon my customers or my customer base. They leave immediately. It's something you do not do, so it's a bit odd to see Ethereum developers looking down at other projects. Why? Most of their value comes from other investors, from other developers. If you start looking down at them, they're going to say, hey, dude, I'm out of here. There are other blockchains who want us, our finances. And, well, we're developers. We can adjust our programming if needed. So it doesn't work anymore on the Ethereum blockchain, but on somewhere else. So
Yeah.
they need to start watching out because they're really alienating their entire base.
Yeah, it's just a weird flex. Like I said, if you're an investor, and you're putting, tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands into the coin, I don't want to hear some guy over here just moaning and complaining about miners who are actually upkeeping your network right now. It's just like, dude, just make your stuff happen. I got all this money here. I don't want to see all this weird, you know, "Oh, those miners, and just carrying on. It's a weird flex for some developers to be taking. It's very strange. It seems like it's personal, and it's like, is that the way basically when you look at the devs, they're running the whole thing like a business? Is that how you're going to run your business? Is that how you're going to run my investments? It's just kind of like I
Yeah,
don't think it instills faith.
and it's something future wise with new projects being launched. Many people look at value, for example, and say, "Oh, it means it's a good project because I see value." For example, the Dig coin, 60,000, 70,000, high value, very good coin. Yeah, no, not per se. With Ethereum, for example, okay, it is high value, but there are movements behind the screen, technical ones, with the miners, and those are quite important for the integrity of the entire blockchain, for the entire project. If it falls, it will go down hard, no matter what value it had, no matter
Yeah.
what assets are backing it. If it goes down, it goes down, period.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, Ethereum, I don't know. They're moving kind of weird. And I think, and like you said, I mean, we both said it. It's like it's kind of stagnating the coin right now. I really think that if they just like take things a little bit slower, not trying to do like 10 things at once that seem more vindictive and, and more like, structured step by step, slowly, I'm not saying go slow and steady. I mean, hey, you got your foot on the gas pedal, go. But at the same time, we're talking about like entire like massive
Hmm.
projects here that are like you were saying, we've got like projects being built on top of the Ethereum chain, and that's what the Ethereum chain was designed for. And you're out here making new shifty, crazy moves. You know what I mean? It's going to stagnate your coin, and I think that's why it's just hung up at 1,300. There's no reason why it should be hung up there. When you look at like the basic fundamentals, it should be going up higher and higher. So
Yeah,
where's this hang up coming from?
the
It's
run
not
should
minor.
have been the run should have been more intensive, and
Mm.
I believe it's stagnating also because many miners, probably like yourself, are saying, yeah, well, okay, it has decent high value, I'll keep on running it, but the second it goes down from a certain threshold, I'm pretty sure an exodus of miners will
Oh, yeah.
occur and the project will collapse. So they should be much more afraid because, in all actuality, they're hanging on a very, very sensitive thread.
I've already made moves, like secure, alternatives to Ethereum. I'm already making moves. This is why I'm not building any more AMD rigs. This is why I'm building like NVIDIA rigs, because NVIDIA is more flexible when it comes down to mining, multiple algorithms than AMD is. AMD can mine other algorithms, but it's not as efficient. So
Yeah.
already I'm making moves for that. It's like, because the moment they get stupid,
From all miners, I heard the exact same news. They're making movements. They keep it on running it because there's still profit to be made. But as soon as value crashes, there's going to be an exodus that even Vitalik has to say, okay, we fucked up
yeah.
big time.
They're just, yeah, and the devs, man. I just want to say, take the time to say that Ethereum devs are dickheads. If an Ethereum dev watches this, you're dickheads. They literally said that miners are not part of the Ethereum community. It's the weirdest, just stupid mentality they have. So get this: the miners who have been there from day one. I'm not one of them. I haven't been there from day one, but I've been a believer in cryptocurrencies, for a while. I was keep telling the story. I was supposed to get into cryptocurrency mining 4 or 5 years ago, and I ended up buying a car instead of the mining equipment. So, I've been in this, but guys who've been there from day one and they're holders, they're hodlers, they are not considered part of the community. But a guy who just came in yesterday and then just invested 100,000, he's considered a member of the community. You got to imagine the mentality that's going on. This is what the devs are saying on Twitter. You
It's a
know,
cash grab that they're going to
it
implement. That's
literally is a
all.
cash grab. Oh, you got 100,000? Yeah, you're part of the community. You've been here for like 4 years. What are you talking about? You? Nah, buddy. Security of the network for the past 4 years. It's just a
It's
real
crazy.
bad flex to be taken publicly. And they're acting like people don't see it. And then you've got a bunch of people who are jumping onto Ethereum who don't have a clue about what's going on. Like all these people buying and selling and trading and riding the waves up and down. Hey, and that's fine. If you buy low and you sell high and you repeat and rinse and repeat and you keep making yourself a bunch of money, more power to you. I'm not a man to count someone's pockets. I'm not a hater. Man, more power to you. If you can teach me, teach me. But I just don't have time for it. That's why I'm mine. I just don't have time to watch the markets like that. So anyway, now you got these people jumping in talking about 1550 9, it's gonna fees and whatever else, and what they don't understand is that they're not gonna get cheaper transaction fees, they're not gonna get lower gas fees. It's just the only thing that's gonna change is the miners aren't going to be paid, and they're still going to be paying ridiculous transaction fees, they're still going to be paying ridiculous gas fees, and they're not going to go to anyone. This guy literally sent me a meme, my fees, it was just hilarious, because I was talking to him about 1559. He's like, these are my fees. It's like, you don't keep the fees, buddy. You're going to still pay the freaking 30 Ethereum or whatever you're paying for your 10,000, or your 100,000 transfer. You're still going to pay that. It's just nobody's going to get it. It's not your fees.
Yeah, it's going to be burned. It's a way.
People out there, and it's exactly. And you got stupid people out there now jumping into the whole conversation, and they're rah-rahing up the devs, giving them back rubs and slapping on the back, attaboying them. And it's just like,
that's a bit the issue with the new investors. They see the value but do not know or have the technical backgrounds, and I believe it's something Ethereum has forgotten, because it's something which made Bitcoin so successful and robust. By reason, they give the transaction fees to the miners.
Yep.
Each and every successful project which is high value pays their miners, have high security. Ethereum is literally burning down all their bridges. They're
Yep.
collapsing. And it wouldn't be long before they become some sort of island with a sort of elite club. And if someone needs to take a wee somewhere else, they suddenly notice, hey, I can't cross the river anymore. How's that possible? Well.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of Bitcoin. That's why we got Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, Bitcoin Gold, because Bitcoin will not change. Bitcoin, they said, this is how we want it. This is how it's going to stay. And it's beautiful because their network security is at all-time high. I love these conversations, and I tweet about it all the time. Bitcoin can be hacked by a quantum computer. And I'm
people are overestimating. People are overestimating quantum computers. Those are the kind of questions I receive on a daily basis. Like, are you sure with your funds in Bitcoin? Because you said you can do a hard reset should the fiat currency crash. I can, yes. But a quantum attack, listen, quantum computers, they're more powerful than a standard computer. If we're talking supercomputers, they are on par or slightly more powerful. But do you have any idea how many supercomputers are present in a simple mining pool?
Yep.
It's tremendous.
It's ridiculous. That what was the number I said? 158.6 quintillion hashes per second take place on the Bitcoin chain right now. Okay, find me a computer that's going to go ahead. Yeah, your quantum computer is going to cover that. Okay, guys.
It's impossible. People underestimate the amount of power present on blockchain, especially with the high value coins. It's also one of those things. Hashing power is the end game. The more power present on the blockchain, the more solid your coin becomes. Yep. And it's actually apparent. For example, if you compare hash rates between Dash, for example, and Ethereum, especially with the latest movements, Dash is way, way higher than Ethereum at this point in time, despite Ethereum being high value coin and considered one of the more popular ones. Dash has a much higher hash rate, which is odd for being lower value.
That's interesting. I didn't know. Hold on, give me a second.
Well, it's one of the last. It's been some time I checked it up, but I know Dash was higher than
Ethereum. Do we have Two Miners? No, Two Miners isn't here. Two Miners has some of the best hash rate, figures.
Got it. Dash is currently at 5.58 beta hashes per second.
Wow, dude, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's high.
Yeah, because it's from a question I once received. Does high hash rate equal high value? And I was searching for a good example between two coins. I took Ethereum for being the second highest. and wanted to compare it towards Bitcoin, and it was by accident that I tapped on Dash and suddenly saw that there, well, was a quite a big difference between the two. So I said, yeah, Dash Ethereum, it's a very good example.
Yeah. All right, give me a second. I'm just looking this up here. We're actually over an hour now. I just want to take a look at this real quick. Wow. Okay, so hold on. I don't even know what. Okay, so one PHS. I don't even know how to say this thing. This term. That. How the heck are they so high? How's Dash so high in hash power? This doesn't even make sense, dude. It's like an. Okay. So anyway. Dash is currently, the network is hashing at 5.58 quadrillion hashes per second. Dude, that's
insane.
Nuts. Dash is like, so what is the value of Dash right now? That's a ridiculous number, dude.
When I compared it, Ethereum was still at 500. I believe they were somewhere 56 or something. They're now near the 100, I think.
$106. Dude, that's definitely ASIC mines. That's ASICs. There's no way you're going to get, what, 5.58 quadrillion hashes per second on GPUs. That's madness, dude. Yeah, that's killing freaking Ethereum.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give me a Dash business, man. Give me a Dash miner. No, I'm just playing. I mean, 108. That's not bad either. Wonder what the block reward is. I'll check it out another time. We're coming up on an hour, man. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We just kind of kicked it today. We were all over the place, but it was a good conversation, man. I just like having these conversations. I picked up a lot of information, and I love just processing what I've gone through the week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Dimitri, man, you want to drop something?
Not immediately, no. Just you guys pop in every week for Blockchain Bros. I was going to say Cryptosiast, no. Blockchain Bros. Sorry, I'm starting to switch the two live streams. Can't imagine what you're having. You have like what, 7 or 6?
Yeah, I get headaches sometimes.
Yeah, so get in weekly. We share decent information. If there are certain topics the viewers want to have covered, just hit us up and we'll arrange something.
Absolutely. You heard it, guys. If there's anything you guys want covered, anything you want to talk about, just hit us up, either privately, hit us up here in the chat next week on Sunday, 5:30. It was nice getting on the air and just chopping it up. And we will see you on Twitter, Dimitri. And thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Blockchain Bros. We are out.